Beasley?
Oh, yeah. First, I'd like to ask, is it all right if this man films, and is it all right if my father comes up
Sure.
as well? Yeah, Tony Beasley, yeah. I asked for a submission for to remove the no right turnings, but I know I won't get that. But my prime thing I'd like the truth on how cycleways actually came about. There's an internet site that talks about an overseas organisation called Agenda 21. It's the fact that John Key joined us up to Agenda 21, and it's the fact that he authorised 80% of taxpayers' money to pay for cycleways. How come whenever I speak to one of you councillors about why this came about, and if I mention that, I just get shouted at, no, that's rubbish. I emailed Anne Galloway and I asked for the truth around that. I think I got an email back saying, it's actually on my phone there now, saying, thank you very much for your inquiry. I will refer that to my head executive and get back to you as soon as possible. I think that email was a couple of months ago, the time of the cycleways, when they were really impacting our street. My father here, he emailed you, the Mayor, and he asked for your opinion. Your email back was saying, thank you very much, I will refer to my personal secretary. I mean, I've left loads and loads of phone call messages on cell phones. I just feel that us as ratepayers and taxpayers funding all this, we need to know the truth. I can't see how it would be public opinion when there was a huge incentive to do the cycleways with the government authorising 80% of it, and his membership to Agenda 21. I mean, a lot of other people want me to talk about other aspects of how the cycleways are impacting businesses and stuff, but I just want to strip this down to the bottom. How did they come about? How can you say it's public opinion? How can you?
Well, Robert, what we're doing is we're actually consulting on the long-term plan at the moment. So that's, this is the opportunity for people to have their say, and if you're not in favour of cycleways, then that's something that you should be, making your case for. I think that the original decisions around the cycleway network, if you actually think of it, the major cycleway routes were established as a network program of work prior to most of us actually being elected to the council. So it was a long-standing decision after the earthquakes to put in place an accessible city in the central city and a major cycleway route network to enable people to use their cycles to get into the central city and across the central city in an easy way. We provide for cars, this is providing for cyclists.
Madam Mayor, we're in favour of cycleways.
Right.
We're not in favour, and we don't think that you people have got a mandate to spend 200 million
but we're not spending
our money.
We're not spending 200 million. I think this is the tricky thing. I mean, Robert said very clearly that the government's making a contribution. So we put in the total amount of the program, but we are funded back 2/3 of the cost through central government.
Still our money,
yes, I understand that, but that's a central government contribution.
There's also, excuse me, Madam Mayor, there's also another issue that I don't...
Sorry, I don't know who you are.
I'm Vicky Parker.
Right.
I don't know if you're aware, but I support cycleways, but I don't think a lot has been thought about if people who have chronic health conditions or disabled, getting around the city with all the cycleways and the lack of disabled parking, and people can't access the public transport easily if you've got a wheelchair, if you've got a walker, a stroller. I support we need to be clean, green, carbon neutral and things like that, but at the expense of people that are suffering with chronic health conditions. Mine's not even recognised, Lyme disease here, it's here, but it will never be noted. But we need to think of these people that are struggling. I can't even ride a bicycle because of my disease. I can't even balance on it, and neither can others who have it that aren't being diagnosed. We need to be looking at helping people with illness, as well as definitely those areas in the east that are struggling with community facilities, etc. To have health groups go into some of these community centres and set up as well. We need to be looking. Lyme disease comes from open drains and mosquitoes and midges and also ticks. So we need to be doing research in that so that people can get healthy and maybe get well and be able to use a cycle.
I don't know whether that was the point of Robert's submission to us.
No.
But we've come to the end of the time now.
My whole point was just I smell a rat. You're all happy to shout things at my face, but you're not happy to actually say in it, confirm an email that what you said was real.
Okay, well look, I will undertake, Robert, on behalf of all of the councillors, to respond to you on your specific questions in relation to Agenda 21. I will do that for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.